part of Neurotica with Johanna, who I believe is calling in right now. Johanna?
Yes, hi.
Hi. Thanks so much for calling.
My pleasure. How's it going?
Great. How are you ladies doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah, really good.
Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah. Sorry, I just got flustered because I called before and it didn't connect.
Yeah, I was hanging up on me too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Well, hopefully you guys won't get hung up on.
It's all good now.
So I was giving an introduction to Kathleen. Joanna's on the line now. She was also a member of Neurotica and also used to do the zine Snarla with Miranda July, and now is part of Men with JD. So I was saying also that I'm incredibly nervous because you guys are like my idol, so this is a pretty special moment. So thank you guys for taking the time to call into my show. That's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. I think it's fun to talk about zines after all these years of not doing them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the focus of this show is zines, and I know you guys probably talk about music a lot, and I'm really interested in hearing about the zines aspect of things. So I just wanted to start out with, I know, Kathleen, you started, from what I've understood, if I get anything wrong here, feel free to correct me, but when you read Toby Vale's zine, I think that's how you guys connected with Bikini Kill, and then you saw Joanna's zine, and that's how you guys connected, and then formed Neurotica. Is that right? Like, zines were a part of connecting you?
Yeah, that's interesting because I never really put those two things together, though they're really obvious. I should have. But zines have basically, led me to my two most important projects of my life. So, yeah, you're right.
Cool. Well, maybe you guys can talk about, you can each take turns answering this question, but how did you discover zines existed? Whichever one of you wants to jump in first.
Joe, do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I think that the first zines that I probably knew about were, I grew up in Berkeley, California, so I knew about Comet Bus because Aaron Comet Bus was even in my teen years, kind of a major figure in the Bay Area punk scene, and I mean actually nationally and internationally as well, because his fanzine was so travel oriented. So that's probably one of the first zines I knew about. I wasn't really, I thought it was cool, but I wasn't that interested or inspired to make one myself until I heard about quote unquote riot girl zines, and that there was people writing in the same kind of way, or making Xerox pamphlets or whatever, but with feminist content that had a punk aesthetic, but wasn't necessarily just about music or bands or whatever kind of traditionally punk subject matter. But when I saw that, I sort of it kind of touched me in this way, not only of, it spoke to these political ideas I was just waking up to, but also I saw it as something I could be artistically interested in, because I didn't really want to just write about bands or interview people.
Mm-hmm. And Kathleen,
how about you, Kathleen?
I think the first zine I probably saw was Toby's Jigsaw. I really didn't know much about zines. I was much more in the I wasn't really in the art world because I lived in Olympia, but I was really interested in photography in college, and I was having a hard time figuring out how to express myself, and I started making little books with my photography in it and putting little bits of writing with it. And I had never seen a zine. I just thought of them more as chat books or artist books or something, which I somehow just knew kind of through the era existed, that people made little books magazines, mini magazines or whatever. And I made one of those. Are we allowed to curse on this?
Yeah. Say what you like.
It was called Fuck Me Blind, and I had a pseudonym, Maggie Fingers, and I made that. And I think Toby saw it and gave me her zine, and then I was like, oh, whoa, there's actually a format for doing this. You know what I mean? I realized that there's this whole other world of ones that were more surrounding music and kind of like the punk rock scene, and it opened my mind up to this whole other world. And I still kept doing kind of like things that were more on the book area. Like I did a thing called The Most Beautiful Girl is a Dead Girl that was like almost 200 pages that was more like a book.